Hey there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Redemption here, back with another video. I know it's been a long time coming. I spent a little bit of time trying to decide what it was I wanted to do for a video. After all, there is so much to choose from, and so many people are talking about so much, especially in the way of current affairs. But in trying to decide what I wanted to do, I felt like I just had too many options. I had too many choices, which sometimes can be good. Sometimes it can be bad. Today I'll be a non-cam day. I don't feel like subjecting you guys to my ugly mug today, or more or less, I don't feel terribly photogenic today. AKA, I'm in a lazy mood and I don't feel like cleaning myself up before this video. So I'm slumming it today. But all of that said, everybody is talking about all the current events, of which there are just so many to choose from. You know, we have the Nice attacks, everything that happened with Brexit, another shooting in Orlando, or another shooting in Florida. Sorry. A woman was hacked up with a machete by a Syrian refugee in Germany on Sunday, their Sunday, our Saturday. And just a veritable smorgasbord of unacceptable human behavior that's been taking place. The murder of cops, people getting themselves shot by cops, people out there declaring war on white people, and all kinds of other ridiculous behavior. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to be talking about isms and why I fucking hate them. All of the isms. Kill all of the isms. Feminism, liberalism, socialism, communism, and absolutism. Absolutism not as a political ideology, but as a way of debate. And today's message is that they're all cancer. They're cancer, and they need to be destroyed. And let's look at why. Let's look at why they're cancer. Yeah, let's go on a little journey. So, the isms in America have given birth to the following terrible ideas: slam poetry, the gender wage gap, safe spaces, the concept of white privilege, false rape accusations, affirmative action, increased racial division, the idea of male rape culture, or male on female rape culture, approved word lists as it pertains to the colleges, regressive liberalism, the concept of the oppressive patriarchy, Islam apologist or Islamist apologists, wasteful social spending, allowing terrorists to enter our countries, respectively, without any sort of acceptable level of screening, unconstitutional gun control, and movements such as hashtag kill all men, hashtag male tears, etc., etc., etc. One that I forgot to put in there was Gamersgate. Yeah, pretty fucking pathetic, the whole thing, you know. The reality is it's destroying the country. You know, what makes this country run properly is no longer functioning right. And as a country, we're starting to fail. As a society, we're starting to fail because we've forgotten how to reject bad ideas. We've forgotten that bad ideas can be dangerous, you know. So while everybody is out spending their time being liberated, quote unquote, they're actually doing quite a lot of damage. We look at the stuff that Black Lives Matter is doing, for example, standing out in the street, blocking people from getting to where they're trying to go, and their presumption is that they're hindering commerce, and therefore they're actually doing some sort of a significant amount of damage to the quote system. The reality is they're actually just damaging civilians. They're actually damaging the lives of people whom are unable to get to work and may lose their jobs, people who may be trying to get to the hospital and may die as a result of making it there. People who are afraid and choose to ram through those human barricades, which may cause others to get hurt and only further to increase the racial tension that we have in this country. They're out there calling for the death of white cops. They're out there calling for the death of white people. Meanwhile, trying to convince us that they are not a violence-driven group. And when we look at all of these outcomes, that's what this graphic is. This list of outcomes. They all stem back to the left. Really, I mean, when you get down to it, all comes down to the left. I also forgot social justice warriors. Fuck them the most. Little liberal cuck pussies. You know. People have asked me from a military perspective what it is that we're going to do to stop the terrorists that have entered this country vis-a-vis the unconstitutional refugee immigration that our communist leader Obama has enacted. And the answer is actually really quite simple. There's nothing you can do anymore. It's too late. You've already let these people into the country. We're going to have to spend an immense amount of money and an immense amount of time. Billions upon billions of dollars are going to have to be spent to try to sniff out each and every one of these hidden stealth terrorists that are coming over with this group, and even then we still won't catch them all. In fact, we probably won't even catch the majority of them because our government has become so incompetent and pathetic. And let's face it, the reason they become incompetent and pathetic is because of us. We've allowed it. By being so complacent, by being so overly concerned with social issues, by putting the individual and the minority before good sense, good moral fiber, and intelligent decision-making processes, we brought this upon ourselves. This is our own fault. And there's no longer anything we can do. Does that mean that we do nothing? Of course not. It just means that we've now made life a lot harder for ourselves. And I don't know how exactly we are going to solve that problem, but we have to start by dispelling bad ideas. We have to do that by engaging in civil discourse. Now, even though I've attacked absolutism as a method of debate, I have to point out there is really only one truth in the world. There isn't a his truth, her truth, their truth, the truth you make it. It's bullshit. There's one truth. And that truth is that if you allow bad ideas to float to the top, if you allow bad ideas to stand despite the fact that they don't have enough merit to survive upon their own, well, then this is the system you get. And we have to start by destroying that. We have to attack that. So it's my sincere hope that people spend a little bit of time to really think about this. Is this what you want for your children? Do you want them to be professional victims? Do you want to live in a world that is full of people telling you you're no good because you're white? No matter what you do, you're racist because you're white. No matter how hard you've had it in life, you're privileged because you're white. That no matter how hard you've had it, you're privileged because you're male. That women should be paid more than men, despite the fact that they already get paid the same. They're running around screaming that they get paid less, but they get paid the same per hour as anyone else. Do you really want your kids to grow up in a world where they're not allowed to say the word American flag when they go to college? Is that really the world you want to live in? we look at affirmative action, and it was a half-measure solution for a real problem, And again, I want to specifically talk about that before anybody has a chance to attack me for it. Affirmative action was built during a time where we did have a genuine problem with African American employment. In fact, we still do, but for other reasons. And affirmative action was a bit of a government half-measured band-aid to solve that problem. But really, what it did was it gave black people a privilege. It gave them the privilege to be hired over anybody else, even if they weren't the right person for the job, even if they weren't the best person for the job. And that's is that a world you want your kids to grow up in? Do you want to live in a world where you have to pay 70% tax so that your government can spend that money on wasteful social spending to enable lazy people to continue being lazy? Do you want to live in a country where your constitutional rights are stepped on because, guns are bad, quote unquote? Do you really believe that there's a patriarchy, that this country is secretly ran by a cult of males who are keeping the female down? I mean, what a fucking ridiculous notion. So I guess the main message I want to send out into the world today is very simple. Feminists, liberals, social justice warriors, you're fucking cancer. You're a piece of shit. You barely deserve to live. You're in the way of intelligent progress, and the world would be a lot better without you. Those are my words for you today. So, with that in mind, go fuck yourself to death. Okay? Fuck you. Now, moving on. If any of you have ever seen slam poetry, it's some of the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. It's where some fucking impotent, pathetic little bitch, male or female, gets up on stage and tries to shit talk somebody vis-a-vis this form of slam poetry, which is probably the most pathetic thing I've ever watched. And I don't know. I just really think it's got to stop eventually, or we're gonna go the way of Persia or Rome, and we're just gonna fucking fall to pieces, and that'll be that. On the plus side, social justice warriors and feminists and libtards, I want you to know that if our society crumbles because of the crap that you guys have done, you guys will be the first to be hunted. You need to know that. As a group, you guys aren't exactly brimming with survival skills and survival equipment. So I just want you to know that if it goes that route because of you guys will be the first to go. You'll be gone within a matter of weeks. The problem will rectify itself. So anyway, with that said, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and for all of you who aren't fucking retarded, whenever you see one of these fucking losers, do what I do. Troll them until they fucking cry. Troll them until they fucking talk shit. Troll them until they betray their own ideology in favor of lashing out at you. Troll them until they reveal themselves for what they really are. Pathetic, brainless, fucking halfwits. That said, I'm Redemption signing out. You guys have a fantastic day. See you on the flip side.